Hello again. This is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are from across the pond.
Rich, love, how are you?
What's going down? How was your week? It's over.
I know we've made it through another week of this absolute craziness. Obviously, because of lockdown, I'm going to go first because my week's, well, not really much has happened, to be fair. We're locked down. We can't really go anywhere, do anything. Nothing exciting has happened.
Well, you do have something exciting going on at home. Tell everybody what you're doing in your garden.
Okay, well, yeah, that is exciting. I'm having my garden redone. I'm having a little studio built at the back so I can do my photography at home. So yeah, I suppose, yeah, I mean, to me it's exciting. To the rest of the world or people across the pond where you are, it's not going to be exciting. But yeah, other than that, just the normal mundane stuff has happened to me. I mean, I did get some a package in the mail, but we're going to talk about that after we've heard about your week. But firstly, I just want to apologise. Our show on Sunday ran somewhat over. We try and aim for like an hour. I wasn't talking about a president.
That's true.
And realistically, if we think about it, maybe we should have done a show just to talk about the election because it was a big thing, but we didn't. So I'm very sorry. Feel free to watch it in parts if you need to. Come back, we're still there. Yeah. But we try and aim for an hour, but unfortunately we went an hour and 22 minutes. So
I'll take full responsibility. I got excited.
Yes, but
because I do believe you also let everyone know that we were on the radio too. So I mean, I was a little excited about that as well.
So that's why you're trying to blame me.
No, I just said I'll take full responsibility.
Okay. Just to clarify, we're going to be on the radio again tomorrow. How about that? So yeah, apologies. You got to see our beautiful faces for an extra 22 minutes. But yes. we will keep it in check from now on. So apologies. So, Rich, what's been happening in the US of A?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, work doesn't stop for me.
Mm-hmm. We had a holiday. What are you on about?
Wednesday wasn't a holiday, but it was still work. Besides Wednesday, which we had Veterans Day and Remembrance Day for you. So
yes,
other than that, it's been work. What did you say?
We done an extra show on it for 30 minutes.
Oh yes, we did. We did an extra show on it.
In case anyone missed it.
What did you say?
I said in case anyone missed it. Sorry, carry on.
Okay. So then also, I'm going to tell you something traumatic happened.
What?
A tree fell on my house.
No way. On your house?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, long story short, I was home watching television and then I heard this ruckus and it was raining here for like the last couple of days. So I thought it was lightning. So I'm just like, yo, what was that? And come to find out, my neighbors knocked on the door and said, hey man, a tree fell. It was a huge tree. Luckily that it didn't do too much damage. I got a little hole, some structural damage, but nothing to the point where, I got water leaking in my house or smashed my house, because it could have.
Was there a storm or something occurring?
It hit another tree and then kind of like grazed my house, put a couple holes and tear up some damage, and then landed right in between my house and the neighbors. So I just want to say that was the most exciting thing.
But was there a storm? What caused the tree to fall?
I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell me if there was a storm?
I just told you it was raining.
Oh, just rain, not normal, not like big rain.
Yeah, it wasn't like a torrential downpour or like.
Oh, okay. How bizarre.
Yeah, it was bizarre because it cracked in half. So I don't know if the tree was dying or because there's a lot of trees that came down. I talked to the tree removal service, so they pretty much got.
I just need to interrupt this broadcast and say I'm really sorry if you can hear that noise. The builders are still here outside in the garden now, and I can hear that drilling, so I'm very sorry.
Well, we can't hear on this side of the pond, so you're good.
Oh, well, at least it hasn't travelled that far.
And we're just going to touch a little bit on what happened this week as far as the election.
Yeah, because is that all calmed down now?
They're still counting votes. Biden is still the president-elect. But the thing is now, our current president is being very defiant.
Excuse me. How could he win if they're still counting votes?
Because what they do is even though he's won, because the one state, he only needed 270 electoral votes. Pennsylvania has 20. He had 150. Well, he had 250 or something like that. So that 20 electoral votes put him over the top, which makes him president-elect. And the reason why they say president-elect is because they have to transfer power in January. So right now, he's just the president-elect. He's been elected president. So that's why they say president-elect. But our present president, Trump, is being very defiant. He doesn't want to concede. He's causing.
But we knew that would be the case.
But we all knew that. Yeah. We all knew that was going to happen. But that, in a nutshell, is what went on in my week.
Well, all in all, I feel like we've had a bit of a boring week.
Well, you know what? Sometimes boring is good.
Okay.
Boring is good, people. Sometimes boring is good. So well,
anyway, like I said, part of what happened to me was I received a packet of treats from across the pond.
From across the pond, and so did I.
Now, this is going to be a test, an experiment, because in England, we have these Maltesers that are delicious pockets of biscuit wrapped in chocolate. So I sent him a packet of these delicious Maltesers. His response was, we have those in America. We have,
upside down
Whoppers. Now, the only Whopper we have in England is at Burger King. That is a burger. So we are doing a comparison test. Who does it better, UK or the US of A?
Oh, let's bring it, lady. Let's bring it.
Which one do you want to eat first? Malteser or Whoppers? Which are we doing?
Well, let's go with your Maltesers.
Okay. I'm going in.
Go with your Maltesers since you already know what they taste like.
They taste delicious and nutritious.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. I love them.
I'm
so Moorish.
Matter of fact, I need another one because my taste buds.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I put 2 in.
They ain't bad. But I'm telling you.
You still think yours are betterer?
No, I said they taste the same.
Exactly the same, you're saying?
Well, mine, my chocolate might be a little
Here we
better.
go, kids. Yours smell different. I'm not going to lie. Yours smell like what I'd call cheap chocolate, but I didn't say that.
Check this out. Check this out, people. This is a Malteser. This is a milk dog.
Yours look like dark. Look at that there. Yours look like dark chocolate.
This is chocolate. This is a Whopper. This is a Malteser.
But yours look like dark chocolate. Okay, I'm going in with the Whopper.
Going in?
They're harder.
Yes, crispier.
You know what? You talk with your mouth full. Hold on.
Tell me what you think, because I think mine's are better.
It tastes like a gone-off Malteser with cheap chocolate. Malteser for me.
I'm going to have to disagree.
Well.
Whoppers is...
Whopper needs to stay as it is. A burger at Burger King. Okay, that's the only Whopper I need.
Well, I'm just going to say to you, we're going to agree.
To disagree.
That was a Malteser right there. That was pretty good.
You can send me my Maltesers back and I'll send you your Whoppers back.
I don't know what's going to happen is I'm going to eat these Maltesers.
Okay.
And the Whoppers too. I might just put them all in the same box.
Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way, even though we didn't actually.
I'm glad we got that out of the way, people, but...
We'll have to...
Why is this kept? Maltesers and Whoppers taste the same.
Oh my God. You just agreed that Whoppers were harder. So how are they the same? Anyway, we'll have to do this again when we do the show on sweets, candy, treats. We'll have to see if there's anything else that is similar description.
Comparison? Yeah, because we do have another comparison, but that's for a later note.
Do we?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
We'll talk about it a little later. It's a
Okay.
snack cake dish. It's a snack cake from England that tastes just like a snack cake we have here, but we will discuss that on another day.
Okay, we'll talk off air.
Yes.
Watch this space, people. This one right here is coming soon. Okay, so we had a discussion the other day about old-fashioned cartoons and how they are the bomb compared to cartoons today.
Yes.
So I was thinking, what about TV shows? I don't mean like reality TV or game shows. I mean like actual series, if that's
Yeah.
even a word.
Which we don't have like we used to. I
Exactly.
agree.
They're still not how they used to be.
It's a lot more. I think reality TV has took it over, but
I think
regular scripted shows are now being streamed, or
yeah.
they're not being really promoted on regular TV like
I was
that.
just about to say, if you watch a good series these days, it's either on Netflix or Amazon. It's not on the telly.
I agree.
Telly's been taken over by reality TV.
And what we call rubbish. What do you call it? You call
Rubbish.
it rubbish?
Oh, sorry, he calls it garbage.
I call it trash.
Trash, garbage,
Straight
rubbish,
trash.
all of the above. So, yes, let's discuss. Now, I've got to start because I used to watch this program, and funny enough, only just this afternoon I asked my mum about it, and she can't remember it. It used to be on a Sunday. I'm going to say it like 5, 6 o'clock, and it was called Beauty and the Beast, right? And it was a show like actual humans, not a cartoon, and it had the chick in it from the Terminator, and the guy who obviously looked like a beast because he had the get up on. Everybody I ask says I don't know what you're talking about, and even my mum said I don't remember that. Did you watch it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. The guy who plays
the Beast,
his name is Ron Perlman, and he's done Hellboy. I don't know if you've ever watched Hellboy.
I haven't
But
watched
Hellboy
it.
is a movie. It's a sci-fi comic book movie. But he did such a good job because they lived in the sewers.
He lived in the gutter, like in the drains.
Yeah, the sewers.
Yeah.
We call them the sewers or the gutters.
But didn't she used to go in there from the subway or something?
Yeah, and you know what used to trip me out about that?
Yeah.
Is that I was young, but you know what? My aunts and my dad, they used to all come together and watch that together. It was like a show that like everybody was watching, like adults anyway. And I used to watch it and then get kicked out because they'd be in there drinking wine and they'd be, zoned out on the show.
Well, I mean, I didn't used to get scared by the Beast or anything. So, but yeah, I'm glad you are the only person I've ever mentioned it to that said they watched it, because obviously it was an American show.
Beauty and the Beast, and you know what? I hate to give you a little fun fact here. They remade it. It didn't do too well, but they remade it here. Huh?
No shit, Sherlock. It never does good when they remake stuff. They should leave it alone. Yeah. Hence why I'm not watching The Witches.
Henceforth, yes.
Okay, your turn. Come on, hit me with one.
All right, I'm going to hit you with one. This used to be my grandmom's show.
Okay.
My grandmother's show, Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote.
No, that's not it.
I know. You're talking about with that chick,
that British girl, what's her name? Angela something.
OMG, because she was also in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I love that movie.
What's her name?
Angela Rippon. Is that her name? No.
Angela Raspberry or Bansbury or some, I don't know. Angela
Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury. There you go.
Good save.
Yeah. Murder, She Wrote. My grandma used to watch that faithfully.
To be honest, sometimes they still have it on here on a Sunday, like reruns, and I'm not going to lie, I thought it was boring then, and I think it's boring now, but I do know the show you're on about. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. You're next.
What about Okay, so around the time of Beauty and the Beast, there was also a show called Narnia. You know, like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe Top. Well, they've got a Narnia film, didn't they? Set. Did you have that there?
No, I didn't even know Narnia existed until the movies came out.
Oh my! You ain't ever heard of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
I'm being honest with you.
Oh my god!
I didn't know anything about Narnia
Was that
until
an
the movies
English
came
thing?
out.
Then it must be. I'm gonna have to do some
I mean,
research.
it started out as a book like Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't get into any of those books, Narnia, until the movies came out.
Oh, okay. Well, we had a TV show about it.
Mm. All right. Well, how about this? How
That
about
one
this? Since we go in there, how about did y'all have Miami Vice?
We did, but I ain't gonna lie, that's a bit before my time. That's a bit before my time.
But did you watch it though?
No.
No.
I'm sure, didn't they do a film about that?
Yeah.
Was that the one with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah. He was supposed
No, I
to
haven't
be
seen that either. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you how much I liked Miami Vice as a kid. Me and my brother on Easter Sunday, I wore me a Miami Vice suit to church.
Get in.
You couldn't tell me nothing, girl.
All right, check you out.
Mm-hmm.
Was it anything like the A-Team? Because I did watch that.
Like the A-Team?
Yeah.
No, I love the A-Team. Did you watch A-Team?
Love the A-Team. Mr. T was the man.
Yeah. No, I did watch the A-Team. I'm a guy, so I did watch the A-Team. But did you watch Knight Rider?
Knight Rider with Kit, of course.
Yeah.
That was the Hoff before Baywatch. Come on, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about this? Did you watch the helicopter show that was like Knight Rider but in the air, and it was called Airwolf? That was the shit.
Airwolf. The name's ringing a bell, but it's not registering in the brain.
Well, see, I kind of look at it like this. I don't know if you were a tomboy growing up or a girly girl, but Airwolf was like the show. I wish they came back to back. It was like Knight Rider and then Airwolf came out. And
was it just one man, one dude?
In a helicopter, yeah.
Okay.
And the helicopter was like ridiculous. It had all these contraptions and missiles, and it can do like stuff that like back then I didn't think helicopters could do, and it was dope. And it came out of a mountain. That was dope.
Did you have toys? Like, did they have action figures to do with him?
I don't think Airwolf did, but Knight Rider did.
Oh my god, they missed a trick. They could have cashed in on that. What else?
I had a Knight Rider Hot Wheel. That was about it. That's about as close as you're gonna get the Knight Rider for me, or a remote control car.
I mean, obviously after Knight Rider, the Hoff did go on to do Baywatch, was on a Saturday evening, but that's a bit. We're going up a bit now. We're still down in the olden days. Okay, I haven't got any more man things like that. I've got things like Black Beauty and the Waltons. Totally opposite.
The Waltons. That was one of my dad's favorite shows. The Waltons.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Lou.
Yeah. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Lou. And he always had the one. I was waiting for somebody to go to sleep.
Because if you'd have done that at home, you'd have got told off.
Uh-huh. Well, normally I wanted the parents to say it, not the kids, because parents can get away with that.
Yeah. Excuse you.
Excuse me.
He's getting excited, folks.
Mm-hmm. You said the Waltons, and what was it?
Black Beauty. And we're not talking about you now. We're not talking about you.
Oh, girls, you better stop. You're trying to make me blush. Anyway, my dad is a big horse person, so we did watch Black Beauty. I mean, I didn't watch it all the time, but when it was on, my dad was watching it, so it was a pretty decent show. Yeah,
it was on a Sunday.
How about this? Hill Street Blues. Did you ever watch that? That was a cop show. I think Hill Street Blues is like the blueprint for all these cop shows that's on TV right now.
Again, I'm going to say it's probably before my time.
Probably so. But like I said, this is like man show, so you probably didn't even see it, or it probably was your time. You just wasn't into it.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I was watching.
Magnum PI. With
Again,
Tom Selleck.
Before my time. Did he do that before or after Cheers?
Tom Selleck was never on Cheers. I think I'm gonna write Tom Selleck. I'm gonna write him because he was never on Cheers. It was never on Cheers. But
Who's the guy on Cheers?
Oh my God, I can't think of his name, but it ain't Tom Selleck. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Didn't they do a movie together at least then? 3 Men and a Baby. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What a save. What an absolute save. I've pulled it back.
You did redeem yourself. But he was not on Cheers. So if that's your next show.
No, it's not. I didn't like it. I just thought that was the same guy.
Okay.
I was busy watching things like Flipper. You know, the dolphin.
Oh, no. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That came on like Saturdays, I think, like Saturday afternoons or during the week, like in the middle of the day, I think.
I don't know when it was.
Well, I do remember it, though. But do you remember this, though? What, Lassie? There's someone stuck in a well.
Oh, the dog.
There's someone stuck in a well? You want me to get a ladder? What? I loved that show.
I can just imagine you saying that to your dog, to be fair. Huh?
What?
I said I can imagine you saying that to your dog.
I do that to him all the time. When he comes up and he starts whimpering, I'm like, what, Philly? By the way, I have a dog named Philly. And I'll be like, what, Philly? You want to go where? You want to take a walk around the block? You already have the leash together? Yeah, I do that. But that was the show back in the day. That and Benji.
Benji. See, we had one called The Littlest Hobo, where it was a little dog that would just go from house to house. That's why I'm getting confused. Benji was a dog, right?
Yeah, he was a mutt that lived in the city, and he just did all kind of crazy stuff.
So it's the same similar thing.
Same similar thing. You know what? I'm gonna have to look up. You're gonna have to look up Benji. And I'm gonna have to look up this littlest hobo. Matter of fact, I'm writing it down.
Benji. Benji.
Benji. Yep. And you got the littlest
hobo.
Littlest hobo.
Uh-huh.
I hear this, people. The littlest hobo versus Benji, and let's see who rocks better.
Oh, we know what you're gonna say.
All right, your turn. Since a lot of my shows are before your time.
Mork and Mindy.
Yes, and I loved it. And guess what? I had a lunchbox.
A lunchbox?
You know,
with an alien man on it?
Yeah, with Mork and Mindy on it. It was a lunchbox. It was a metal lunchbox.
Okay, whatever floats your boat. Different strokes for different folks.
You know it. And now that we're talking about different strokes, did you watch Different Strokes with Arnold Willis? What you talking about, Willis?
No.
Ooh. Good show. Very, very good show.
What was it about?
It was about these two black kids.
Mm-hmm.
It was raised by this rich guy that their mom used to clean his house or whatever. I guess the mom was like the maid, and she died, and she left her two sons with the rich guy, and he ended up raising them, and it was called Different Strokes because they was from the hood, and the guy was minted. Okay, the guy was minted.
Okay.
It was a really good, and it was funny. What you talking?
Was it like the Cosby Show?
The favorite catchphrase was "What you talking about, Willis?"
What are you talking about, Willis? Was it like the Cosby Show?
It was before the Cosby Show, but yes, similar.
See,
Close.
around the time of the Cosby Show, we also had a show called Desmond's that was in a barber shop. Like it was like set in a barber shop, and Desmond was the barber who owned the barber shop, and he had a best friend called Pork Pie, who used to always wear a funny hat. And actually, when I used to work for Virgin Media, I walked past Pork Pie on the escalator, and he still had that hat on. True story, folks. True story.
Well, I'm gonna say that was before my time because I've never heard of that show.
It's not before your time, love. It's an English show.
Okay, well, I'm glad it stayed over in England because I ain't get that. I don't even think
I'm going to send you a link on YouTube when I post it, and you'll be like, damn,
send
girl.
me a link, people, because I don't know about what it's called, Desmond. Now, we got a movie called The Barbershop. Have you seen that?
Yes,
With Ice Cube?
well,
Is it similar to that? Is it similar to that movie?
Similar sort of thing. It's along them lines. So don't
So
knock it till you've tried it.
So you basically said that Ice Cube stole the idea.
Well, I didn't say it, but if that's what you want to say, why don't you?
I've never seen the show.
I'm going to send you a link for Desmond's. I'm sure his wife's name was Shirley, and you can give it a little perusal, and then you decide if Ice Cube stepped up and took our idea.
Show? Okay. How about this? Have you ever seen Married with Children?
Yes. Now,
Al Bundy?
Yeah. Now, what's the one that had LL Cool J in? Because I get that mixed up sometimes.
In the House.
Okay.
And that is nowhere comparison to Married with Children. That's not. Them are two different shows.
I know they're two different shows, but I sometimes get them mixed up.
How can you get them mixed up? I'm still trying to figure that out. But it's fine. It's fine. How about this? Since we're on Married with Children, have you watched Roseanne?
Oh yeah, we had that on that used to be on a Friday at 5 or 5:30, I think.
Yeah, so you did watch it?
Yeah, and if it wasn't Roseanne, it was Happy Days with Fonzie. I used to really like Chachi.
I'm gonna tell you right now. One day we're gonna do a photo of us when we were kids. I have a photo of me.
Jesus. Okay.
Really, really little with the dog slippers on.
Okay.
And I'm in my pajamas. And on the very bottom, it says, and I'm all head and I'm like all head. I'm like a little kid. And it says on the bottom of the Polaroid, it says, Richard is really intense watching his favorite show, Happy Days.
Oh,
that must have been my show back in the day.
He always used to go like that, didn't he, with a comb and do his hair.
I just like the show altogether. I like Al's Place. I like when they used to go to that diner. I don't know why.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well,
let me see. I had one then, but you literally, even though it wasn't your turn, carried on talking, so now it's gone.
You said Happy Days and something else.
Did you watch Baywatch when it was on? Being as we've mentioned it already with Pamela Anderson.
I wasn't a big fan of Baywatch.
Me either, but it was on every Saturday without fail for years.
Yeah, I never really got into Baywatch for other reasons, but I just never got into it.
For other reasons? That sounds dodgy.
It was boring. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was boring. And if you can tell me a name of a black person in a swimsuit, which there were never one, and they made us very stereotyped, like we couldn't swim. That's how I looked at it.
Wow.
Black people can swim.
I know. I hear you. Don't worry. You said Roseanne. I was thinking of another one. Have you got any more while I try and tap this grey matter? Okay, off you go.
I'm going to tell you one of my dad's all-time favorite shows, MacGyver. Did y'all have MacGyver?
We did, but that, again, is before my time. Even if it wasn't before my time, it wasn't my thing.
Exactly.
Was that a cop show?
What?
Was he a cop or a spy or something? Oh,
no, he was this guy who was like, I guess he was ex-military, but he would always like make stuff to get out of like out of things. Like he would make like homemade bombs and locks and stuff and get out of stuff. It was kind of dope.
Cool. Is that like don't try this at home type show?
Kind of, sort of, but he never did anything that was like uberly dangerous. But it was like stuff like he was making like bombs out of like bubble gum and clothesline or a little bit of fishing line or some
Bombs
crazy
out
stuff
of
like
bubble
that.
gum.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy the stuff he was coming up with, but they was working. So I was just like, oh, all right then. I'm down with that. But my dad loved that show.
Obviously, you watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, of course.
Goes without saying.
I was up to no good. Started causing trouble in my neighborhood. Yeah.
You got in one little fight, and what happened?
Huh? No, I'm not going to sing because you made fun of me the last time I did a theme song with Reading Rainbow. So, not this time.
Oh. So yeah, we're moving up the ages a bit now. We've got to the Fresh Prince.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch Family Matters with Steve Urkel?
Family Matters. My problem is I'm really bad with names.
Do you know who Steve Urkel is?
I'm really bad with names. What else has he been in? Has he been in a film?
No, not that I know of.
What did he look
like?
But
he was really popular because it was a family show. The dad was a cop, and Steve Urkel kind of stole the show because he was like the nerdy neighbor.
Okay.
And he would always mess up, and he'd be like, "Did I do that?" he would tear stuff up and then turn around and go, "Did I do that?"
Okay,
and then he had the Urkel Shuffle. That dude kind of blew up off that show, but I don't think he's ever come out of the shadow of Steve Urkel. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Maybe answers on a postcard, anybody, if he's come out of the shadow.
But then he had a different persona called Stefan. Oh, it was. I liked it. It's called Family Matters.
Okay. Well, let's be fair. Family does.
I'm going to send you a link to that. If you've never seen it, I'm going to send you a link.
I'm going to be inundated. What about? It's a bit newer than older. Is it 3.5 Men? And now Aston Kutcher's doing it, and it had Matey Boy who did it before, who's a drug guy. What's his name? Don't tell me.
Charlie
Sheen. Yes.
And it was 2.5 Men. just to correct you. Since you know that it wasn't before my time, but yes, I did watch that show. And I happened to like it. I didn't much like it when Charlie Sheen left, though.
Yeah, it's never the same. When he did it for years, and then you're going to change the character. It's never going to be the same.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Okay.
I mean, my brain. You know how my brain works. It like goes off on a tangent. Still on the same theme, but not even around the same era. My all-time show as I got older was, and I mean a lot older, was Sex and the City. I loved that show, and I've watched every single episode a bazillion times. I know all the words and the films. Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, a show that I still watch to this day, and I will watch it forever and a day, and that's Special Victims Unit with Maria Hargitag, or whatever her name is. I love her. That show is dope. It's got Ice-T, the cop show. Special Victims Unit. SVU.
And do they make it still, or are you watching reruns?
They still make it. It's still on TV. And then what make it so bad, they used to have this dude on there called Detective Stabler. Loved him, and then he left the show.
But they've got loads of things like that. Is that like oh God, here I go. I'm gonna totally F it up. Like, oh geez. You know, like there's one in New York and one in Miami.
Are you talking about Criminal Minds? That is not the show.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like
CSI. It is not CSI.
CSI New York or CSI blah blah blah. Oh.
Yeah. It's not like CSI. It's Special Victims Unit where they tackle like rapists and serial killers and all kinds of stuff. But I love it. Ice-T's been on it
Oh,
forever.
okay. I was gonna say when he was in one. Okay, what about? I used to really like Nip Tuck. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I watched Nip Tuck. It was on USA here. I just got kind of tired of it because it was like they were just butchering. They was just butchering people up. They were plastic surgeons or whatever.
I mean, it was better in the beginning. It did sort of go off a bit towards the end, but that guy, Christian McNamara, was just so ruthless when it came to women. I mean, he didn't even date them. He was like, I heard a saying the other day listening to somebody's live on TikTok that when you, I can't even believe I'm going to repeat this. When, from a man, when you meet a chick and you don't want to date her, you just want a one night stand. Apparently, it's called beat and delete. So I know, right? Ruthless. So
You
basically,
said,
but that
wait a
is
minute.
what,
You just say beat
yeah,
and
and
delete.
delete. Yeah.
That's new for me.
Me too.
Maybe that's
I
the
didn't
younger
invent
generation.
it. So if my mother's
Maybe that's the
watching,
younger generation
sorry,
because I've never heard of that. Beat and delete.
I hadn't heard of it either till then. But that is what that Christian McNamara used to do: get the women back, have his way, chuck $10 on the bed, and say, "There's your cab fare home. Off you go."
Wow.
Hmm. Ruthless. I'm telling you, ruthless.
But I love me some special victims, Jane. And what else that I used that was on TV that I used to like? Um, no,
You can
I
come up.
kind of
You
like
can come a
that.
bit more like towards this day and age now, rather than staying in the, back in the day. You can
You
bring it
gonna
a
make
bit more up to date.
we gonna talk after this. I gotta think of a show now. So you threw me off. Oh, did you ever watch the Steve Harvey show
No.
where he
Is
was a
that is
principal?
that a talk show?
No, it's a sitcom he used to be on. It's a television show he used to be on. The guy that does Family Feud,
Okay. I
the
know the
black
guy
guy.
who you mean.
You know who he is? He had a
Yeah.
show where he was a teacher at a school.
Okay, now hold on, because I might just be about to totally mess myself up. Is he the guy that wrote the book in Think Like a Man?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you on it. You on it. Did you
Whoop,
like that
whoop.
movie anyway? Did you like that movie?
Love that movie. I only watched it again the other week. Love it.
It was all right.
Love it. Sorry, my camera moved.
I'm trying to think of like some up to date shows that I watch because a lot of the shows now are reality shows, and I really don't watch too
What
many.
was the one? It's going back in time now. It was like a family. Oh God, that's narrowing it down.
Full House with the twins
No.
and the uncles, and they all live together.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to think about it.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, there was a show that I watched. It was on regular TV, and it was a serious series, but it was like vampires, and they lived in New Orleans.
Not
It was
Buffy the
called The
Vampire Slayer.
Originals. It was called The Originals, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when it came on Netflix, I watched that whole thing to the very end, to the very last season, and then it broke off, and now the show it's a new show called The Originals: The Legacy, which the one vampire, which was the coolest guy on TV. I kid you not, the brothers on the original had to be the coolest guys on TV.
Is it as
And
good the one now as what your original one was?
no,
Never
because
is. Never
it kind of
is.
like it does because you know why the one vampire had a daughter, and it's pretty much the daughter it kind of spawned off to where like it's the
Okay.
daughter's show, and it
Okay. So
doesn't really add up.
let
It
me
really
ask
doesn't
you.
add up.
Let me ask you a question. Were you into that whole Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, the spin-off from that?
I didn't like either one of those
Me
shows.
either. I thought it was rubbish.
Yeah, I didn't like either one of those
Mm-mm.
shows. Those shows to me was just trash.
They're rubbish.
Yeah, I
That
went.
was a big thing over here though, Buffy.
Was it?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
never
I'm
got
telling you right
into it.
now, the originals though, it's a vampire show, and it was really, really good, done right. I mean, it was done so good. They could. I wish they'd made a movie out of that
What
because
about
it would have
Sabrina,
been
the Teenage Witch?
the new one that they got out
No,
now
the
or the
old
old one.
one, the original. New ones are
Oh,
never the same.
Oh. Did you watch Who's the Boss? Since we going back that far, did you watch Who's the Boss with Tony Danza?
I'm the boss.
No,
I didn't. I've never heard of
across
it.
the pond, from across the pond, she cutting up people. All right.
I've never heard of it. What was it
I'm
about?
trying to bring one up. I'm trying to bring one up from. Oh, did you watch This Is Us?
This Is Us, me and you. This Is Us on Amazon, the show.
No, this. Well, you watched it on. I guess you watched it on Amazon, right? But it
About
was
the
on
black guy who got adopted.
a black guy who got adopted.
This Is Us. That's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, where all the kids have the same birthday.
Yes, there's
And the white parents.
triplets.
Yeah.
And the black one of them's black, and he got adopted.
Yeah.
That's what I just said, and you looked at me like I just.
Because I forgot all about that part. Yeah, you're right. They
I
adopted.
am right, number one. Number two, absolutely loved it. And I've only just, I mean, I know it's been out for a few years, only just watched it all in lockdown, and I rinsed it all within a week, all 4 series. There's like 25 episodes per series. I watched. Wait a minute. Hold on. I loved it that much. I had a marathon one Saturday and I watched 12 episodes, one after the other. Get in. Loved it. Are they going to make any more, by the way?
You said, get in. Get it.
Are they going to make any more?
They got a new season coming out.
No way. Shut the front door. When?
I'm going to tell I couldn't tell you, sweetie. But I'm going to tell you one thing.
How can you come with half information like that?
Because I didn't know that you were like a fan. I will make sure when it comes out, I will let you know.
I'm
going to tell you right now. I watched the first 2 seasons and I was exhausted. It was exhausting.
Of This Is Us?
Yeah, it was exhausting to me. It was emotionally exhausting.
Oh my God, I ain't going to lie. I cried at every single episode multiple times.
Exactly. I'm not a crier, but I was just like, they was hitting home runs with that show, though.
Exactly. That was the whole point.
I mean, the show is excellent, but man. And then maybe some people haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to spoil it. But
well, I've already told
once
them.
they discussed, I'm telling you. About this. Once they discussed the father, I was like, no good after that.
Really? I'm telling anyone who hasn't seen This Is Us, I don't know how you can watch it in the States. I watched it on Amazon Prime. Watch it. It is a must see. It was one of the best things I've seen for a while. It's a good television
program. I must admit, it is a very good television program.
What was that? What was that other one you told me to watch? Catastrophe.
What? Oh yeah.
Now see, that was good.
Yeah.
That was also on Amazon Prime. I don't know how you guys watch it.
Catastrophe was excellent. I thought it was excellent. And did you know that the couple on Catastrophe are the ones that wrote that show?
Get in. And
I'm telling you, I'm waiting for the next season to come out.
When is the next season?
I don't know. They haven't said anything. But when they do, I will be watching it.
What was I going to say? I had another banger then.
Oh, can we touch on something that I did watch? And it's probably close to you.
Go forth.
Atypical on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't heard of it.
Love the show. It's about a family.
Atypical?
It's called Atypical. And it follows this family where the teenage son has autism.
Okay.
Oh man, it's a great show. Now that.
How many series has there been?
I think they got one more season coming out, and I think that's the 4th season. But I think they have 3 seasons so far.
Is it emotional?
Oh my God, it's funny and emotional. Because
we have a show here, sounds really similar, called The A Word, about an autistic boy. I'm just an emotional wreck. I just cried. But I mean, it's very moving, very close to the bone. I mean, I will look into your one, just for the fact is, the A Word. No autistic child is the same, just like any child, every child is different. So I'd like to see if they portray that person in your one different to mine. Like, I won't try and give too much away if you're going to check it out, but like the boy in my one has earphones in constantly to have music on constantly, you know, that's his thing. Yeah, and it's all old, like it's set in like now, but he listens to like all 80s music. It's really like that's his little comfort thing, if you like.
Now, I'm gonna tell you that's very ironic because atypical they have the teenage boy like going through school and he has these earphones like when he goes to school, like when the bell rings or whatever, or he's in the class, he has these earphones on.
Are they earphones or ear defenders?
Noise cancellation
Yeah,
earphones, yeah,
yeah.
but they don't play any music or
Shall I
anything.
tell you what a series I absolutely love? And I'm not going to lie again, I cry at every single episode. The Good Doctor. Oh, gosh, I love him.
The Good Doctor?
The
I'm
Good
gonna tell you right
Doctor.
now, I like that movie, but I like him as an actor.
Oh, because he was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He played the little kid, didn't he? In the Johnny Depp
He
version.
played in a whole bunch of stuff too. I got a couple movies of his, but I'm gonna tell you what I really liked him in: The Bates Motel.
Is that a film?
It's a series that he played. You ever see the movie Bates Motel? It's
Never
a
heard of it.
horror movie
Oh,
from
well,
back
that's
in the
why.
day.
Oof.
And then what happens is he plays before the movie, before he became, Bates Motel. He plays the young Bates, and he does an excellent job. Oh, I love that. Now that's a series worth watching because it ain't real scary. It's more suspenseful and thriller than
Okay.
scary. But it is his mama is a piece of work.
Okay, so before we get right up to date, it's old for me, but I don't know how old it is for you. Another one I liked was Top Boy. That's an English one. Have you seen that? It's on
Yes.
Netflix.
Oh my God, yes.
Love Ashley
Top Boy
Walters.
has got to be our version of The Wire to me.
The Wire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just going to drop this in there. Ashley Walters, the main character, actually follows me on Instagram.
Oh God.
Don't
Let
mind
me
if I do.
let me drink on that one.
Go forth. Thank you. In fact, I'm going to toast that one because he is a babe. Cheers, Ashley.
You hear that, ladies? You hear that, ladies?
That's the one reason you got to watch it, chicks, because it's got him in it. He is also in Bulletproof, which is another one, which you've
It's a
only
buddy
just...
cop show, you guys.
It's not bloody.
No, I said buddy cop
Oh,
show.
I thought you said it's a bloody cop show.
If you
No, but
like,
it's a good one.
I'm gonna tell you what I compare it to. Bad Boys.
Oh, yeah. What you going to do when they come for you?
Yeah. So what's it? Bulletproof is
Yeah.
like it's kind of like I would say I would consider it like Bad Boys because it's a buddy cop movie,
But it's also
and I like it. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I just started watching. I got one episode under my belt, and I'm gonna tell you, it's really good television. I must agree.
And it's also got Ashley Walters in again. Do you know what I want to know though is how are you getting on with Riviera? Because we've mentioned it in a couple of episodes, and
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm still
That's
waiting
not
to
even
watch
talking.
season 3. So how are you getting on?
I love it. I keep getting sucked into it, and I'm just like, should I watch one more episode before I go to bed? And then I end up watching. Then I go,
It's
God,
literally full of
they
plot
left me
twists,
on a
right?
they left me on a cliffhanger, and I'm just like, I don't want. I gotta go to bed. One more. I love it. I
Love
love
it.
it. I love it a lot.
Well,
Now
I
you
really
just
would
made
like
me
you to
lose my
hurry up.
train of thought because
I'm
there's a show. I just lost my train of thought. It's an up-to-date show that I think you would enjoy, and now I lost it because you had me
It's that good you can't
all
remember.
excited about Riviera.
Just talk amongst
I
yourselves
lost it.
for a minute while he tries to remember.
No, I'm not. We can talk about something else. It'll come back to me.
Up to date show. I'm not gonna lie. My son goes to his dad's every other weekend, and when he's not here, the telly barely goes on.
Oh,
I
yeah?
generally either just listen to music or if the telly does go on, it's to watch a series. Although I have obviously, since we started our show, been watching the films. But I generally just watch a show on Netflix or on Amazon. My telly doesn't go on, so I couldn't really tell you.
Okay, well, this show's about to wrap up. But so, before we go any further,
You didn't think of that show, by the way?
I can't remember it.
Okay, so what? Before we wrap it up, we've got to do our roundup of films because we gave each other suggestions last week, and we've also had, thank you so much, suggestions come in because this guy is so hard to find for.
Suggestions have come in. Thank you, people.
Okay, so your suggestion for me was The Devil All the Time.
Yes.
OMG. You last week you redeemed yourself, or the week before that, whenever it was, with the BFG. I'm not gonna lie. The Devil All the Time, you went right back down there and crashed and burned.
You need to stop it. No, that is not true.
It is true. The Devil All the Time, people. Watch it. If you have got 2 hours of your life to waste. I mean, when I spoke to you about it, you did tell me the not story, but like the outline, I suppose. And I thought, well, yeah, I can see your point, and it does make sense. But no.
Okay, well,
Rich, you are back in the bad books.
well, I'm gonna
But
tell you.
I also have to tell you and interrupt you there. I watched it straight away, and then I had a couple of suggestions come in for me because you'd already seen them. So I thought, you know what? I need to watch one of those because I need to try and redeem myself to come back, and I need to try and catch up with you. Otherwise, I'll be way behind. One of them was Like Water for Chocolate, right? Unfortunately, this is the problem with Netflix. US Netflix is different to UK Netflix, and I can't get that movie here. So I'm very sorry, and I definitely won't forget it. When I visit you, Rich, I'm going to watch that movie. But I went and watched one from the new releases called Love Guaranteed. And it was predictable cheese, I'm going to say. It was light-hearted, predictable cheese. Have you seen it?
Chick flick. It was a chick flick.
Oh, you seen it?
Yes, I did see it.
I mean, it's okay. This is where I went wrong. It's a PG. That's where I went wrong. As soon as I saw it was a PG, I should have switched it off, but I didn't.
Why is that? Why is that? You can't.
It's obviously it's going to be an action, juicy. You know, you at least want to see a nip slip or something in a chick flick. You know, come on.
All right, you're coming out. All right. Well, okay. Since I'm gonna tell you right now, you right back there with me too because you gave me this movie, Jack
and Sarah. Yeah. It's an old classic. And hold on a minute, let's just clarify something. Right back there, I was never there in the first place. I've never given you anything but bangers from day one.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, this wasn't a banger at all.
Oh my, it's a chick flick.
The movie, yeah, it was a chick flick, all right, but it was just...
Didn't you get even emotional at the beginning?
No, I did not.
Do you have a heart? Jesus.
American woman becomes, a nanny for an English family.
But he loses his wife, has to come to terms with looking after the baby and all that malarkey. Don't you have a heart? Jeez. You're seeing it firsthand here, folks.
It was hard to watch.
Heart of stone. Ooh.
I thought, well, I'm going to be honest with you. When that part came up, I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Well, yeah, granted, that is in the first 10 minutes.
What a setup.
Didn't you think it was cute when he stuck the baby in an envelope and put a sock on its head?
What a setup. Because I was just like...
I'm not being funny, Rich. I'm disappointed in you.
Well, hey.
I'm disappointed in
you. Join the club.
But anyway, it's about time I gave you one that you didn't like because that's all you've done for me so far.
Well, no.
But anyway, if anyone is listening and they want a film to watch, please watch Jack and Sarah, which is a chick flick, light-hearted, emotional, easy watching. Jeez. Do not, for love nor money, watch The Devil All the Time.
You talk about thriller. That was kind of thrilling, but you did give me a dud. Green Machine.
Green
What?
Machine? No, Mean Machine.
Mean Machine?
You gave it a 3 out of 5. How is that a dud?
Because the reason why I gave you a 3 out of 5 because it was entertaining, but it was a remake or a ripoff.
Okay, a dud is a -1 like you gave me. Now, I'm going to give your Devil All the Time a 1 out of 5, and that's because you explained to me the whole what goes around comes around type theory.
See how
That's
she does me? You see how she does me, people?
Don't go and downgrade Jack and Sarah now just because I only gave you a 1.
I'm being honest with you. It was cheese. Okay.
So what are you giving it out of 5?
I'm gonna give you. I think I didn't. I just give you.
No, you just said it was cheese.
All right then. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
And the other one that I watched, Love Guaranteed, I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give it a 2 too. I mean, it was predictable.
2.
Yeah.
Only because it's just easy watch. It's one of those ones very predictable.
It's one of those things if you're doing laundry and you ain't got.
Oh my god! I was just about to say the same thing. You could just have it on in the background and come back after missing like 10 minutes and be like, "Oh yeah, I still know
and don't be upset about it." Mm-hmm.
So this week I'm not gonna lie. I still haven't found any other films that you haven't watched. So I'm giving myself another week to find it because we've had a recommendation come in. Fiona, she commented that she thinks that you should watch a film after you watch The Mean Machine. She said you should watch one called ID.
IED?
No, ID. Like when you go into a bar, can I see your ID, mate? Are you old enough to come
ID.
in? ID, yeah. Apparently it's about football hooligans in the 70s. So I personally haven't seen it, so I can't take any responsibility if it is rubbish.
Oh my God.
There's also another recommendation that came in from me, which is the Lobster movie. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
Is it about shellfish?
Enjoy. That's all I'm going to say.
Is it about shellfish?
Enjoy. That's all I'm going to say.
The Lobster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope I can get it, not like water, like chocolate.
Yeah, I hope you get it too. I hope you can get it as well. Well, people,
I have to say this has been an absolute blast, Rich.
Absolute blast.
Hearing about your cop shows.
And hear about
how you've got Polaroid pictures of you in your pajamas, which we can't wait to see.
And all that good stuff. I can't wait to see this new studio in your garden.
In my garden, yeah. And I can't wait to see your yard when the tree's gone.
Oh, the tree is actually gone, but they're coming back on Sunday. So
when do we watch the film by? Not by Sunday, by Friday. You've got
Friday.
ID. I've got the Lobster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I don't
like
people,
fish. You have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday. And guess what? So this is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are
across the pond. I'm going to go and eat my Maltesers because they're much better than Whoppers. Bye.
No Whoppers right now.